Hi everyone, I'm Catherine, aka the High Hill Gamer, and welcome to the Late Night Nerd Show. Today I'm super excited to have my very special guest back again for second time. I love it when repeat guests come back. It's like my favorite thing. It's catching up with an old friend, plus they bring new goodies, so that's always a plus. Please welcome Jerry from E4 Comics. Yay!
Hello.
Hi, how you
Hi, everyone.
doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good to request. I had a blast the first time, so I have to do it the next go around.
Sweet. Well, my virtual door is always open for you. I'm a big fan now. You hook, line, and sinker, and I'm like so excited because you're back because there's new stories, new Kickstarter. I'm here for all of it. So tell us a little bit about the Elementals Dice Part One.
Yes, so DISYS Saga Part 1 is issue 3 of the Elements. ISIS is the first big villain, basically, the boys will be going up against. So, very dangerous, very he is pretty much like cutting matter. So he can slice through anything with his sword or his blade beam that he shoots out of his weapon. So the boys are in for the fight of their life. And let's just go from issue 2, the training that they went through, enough for this battle.
Wow. So this is like big. This is like boss fight level. Like we've done the nitty-gritty work. We've leveled up and we're here for the boss fight. So
I
this
guess you
is
could say this is the Raditz episode for the people that watch DBZ. This is the Raditz right now. So it's definitely going to be a pretty hefty fight. It breaks down into 3. So this is issue 1 we're releasing. Then it's going to be DISYS Saga 2 and the final DISYS Saga Part 3.
okay. And you said this fall, technically this is issue 3, right?
Yep, issue 3 of the Elements.
But it's its own little like collection of the saga and stuff. Does it carry, is it its own entity even though it's issue 3? Is it its own closed off trilogy, or does it carry into the first 2 books, or should I say doesn't continue from the first 2 books?
Yes, it definitely continues into the first 2 books, and it will lead into further issues as well. The spin-off we actually do have in this Kickstarter, so it'll be 2 books released this Kickstarter. Saga Part 1 continue the Element Saga. 2 is going to be the first issue of the Cliff story. So this character that became in part, the last Element books, it's going to be kind of like his origins before he became this character. That he'll have a human-like form that people will be introduced to, and we'll go into the story before getting together with the brothers. So you're
God,
getting 2 books this Kickstarter.
that's pretty cool, actually. Like you're feeding everybody these nice little morsel meals and stuff within this one Kickstarter. Was that something that to help progress the story? Because it's like such a not necessarily like super long story, but it is a detailed story. Does this help like with that?
Yes, so it will answer a lot of questions, obviously, and a lot of the details in this story open up more in the brothers, what they're going through, what makes them different, and get into more detail about the villains that they're coming up against. So eventually, new characters you see in the Clarence book will be in the Elements book. So this will be a nice introduction for people to meet these characters and the Clarence book. So when they appear in the Elements, they'll be like, "Oh wow, that's such and such from the Clarence book," and just
Yeah.
leading on. So
It's a good tie-in, a good mixture of it all. So I'm super excited. So the Kickstarter launches October 7th. Are you doing like a little I know a lot of people tend to do, like, Instagram Lives for their launch party. Are you gonna be able to
Yeah,
do something like that, or they're just gonna have to hit that notification link, which is down in the description below?
I'm definitely gonna do a launch party for that, and other campaigns going, planning on doing like with issue, maybe like do like 7-page review of issue one. So for
Oh,
people that are like, new to the book and at least see what they're new to and understand, the first book, the first line of the story. So I plan on doing that during the Kickstarter. And then, of course, in Baltimore, I will be promoting it as well. So,
yeah.
yes.
We were just talking about Baltimore like, you saw my face, like, light up. We were just talking about Baltimore Comic-Con before we went live. We're both super excited because 'cause we'll be in the same room physically at the same time. Um, how excited are you for Baltimore Comic-Con?
I am extremely excited. I'm extremely nervous, everything in one, because I've been to a lot of small events. So, like I tell everyone, I'm the shy one. All right, I'm the shy one of the group. So I've done a bunch of small events selling my comics and everything. So this will be the biggest event. Like I've even gotten like what is it like a 42-inch banner, that's gonna go up.
Ooh.
So I'm just trying to make sure I have enough bugs, coins, anything like that to show off at this event. So
So
I'm
you're bringing a lot
excited.
of nice merch with you, huh?
Exactly. I'm gonna meet other people that I found on Instagram and YouTube, for the first time in person. So that's always a good thing. And then I'm gonna be with my SSB brothers. So that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. But
Okay.
I'm very excited. Biggest event so far.
That's awesome. First of all, I'm shocked that you say that you're the shy one because you you don't seem that way with me, I guess.
Yes, people like when I'm with someone comfortable, I'm definitely able to open up a lot more than I would be, but I'm not someone that would initiate it. Hence why I don't do so much lives like I would like to intend to, but I'm slowly trying to break out of that habit.
Well, I'm excited for you. It's cool that you got the banner. I can't wait to see it. We're gonna take selfies in front of it. It's gonna be a big to do. I'm so excited about that. But back to the elementals. So we've got 2 books coming out with the Kickstarter. Um, is the 2 books, is one of them gonna be a reward or is it just gonna be like the 2 bucks?
So both going to be like separate books. There's going to be tiers where you can get both of them together, so you could just pretty much jump right in. For anybody that's new to the elements, there's obviously going to be issue one and issue two available as well, so they can get like a package deal and get everything together. So we're going to be introducing new things like new chibi shirts. We're going to be adding the DISYS chibi shirts and the new Planet version chibi shirts, as well with our new challenge coins that we did from the last Kickstarter that was very
That's
successful.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be doing quite a few new things. One of the things I'm actually most excited about is forgot the name of these posters. I call them like 3D posters. So each book is going to have 3 separate covers. Now this post 3D poster basically is going to have each cover in that poster. So those posters with the when you tilt it in one image, you
Oh,
tilt it
like
again.
holographic?
Yeah. So there's going to be a poster for the DISYS Saga and a poster for the Clement Saga, all 3 covers. That's
Oh,
going to
that's
be
so
introducing
cool.
that.
Yeah,
So
that's so cool. That reminds me of like when I think it was DC actually that did that run of like Catwoman, Aquaman. I think there was a couple of Batman ones that were holographic.
yeah,
So that's gonna be super cool.
yeah, exactly. Like I didn't even know that they can do so many images in one. Like I didn't understand how it worked, but when I reached out to someone, it was like, "Yeah, we can do up to 4 or 5 images." And I'm like, "What?" Like it must be like some very slow, detail and everything. Yeah, I was excited to hear that, and I was like, "All right, great. So 3 images in each is going to work out perfectly." You know.
That's cool. I'm excited to see those. I might actually back that one up. I love a limited edition holographic anything foil, holographic, limited edition, like special artist. I'm like a sucker for all of those works. I'm like, take my money, it's fine.
Definitely. I'm the same way, man. It's very holographic. It's like, yes, I have this to stay sealed while I have the regular one so I can read it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, like, no kidding, I am the same exact way. It's ridiculous, kind of, because I'll end up having, like, the same book with, like, 4 or 5 different
With different
covers, and it's, like, the same book, but different covers because I just wanted the special artist and the special edition one, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll
exactly.
probably do the same for your comic as well.
You can
Um
indulge, okay?
yeah, because it just adds on to the flair of it all. You have your nice special edition one that you might, put in a slab, and then you have the one that you read that you can, open up and, not bend because we don't do that to
Oh,
our comics. But when
yes.
you open it up, it kind of does, crease a little, but you know. So are you gonna have the t-shirts at Baltimore Comic Con as well?
So what I was going to do is that I'm gonna have like the shirts. I'm gonna wear the shirts, and
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have a QR code that sends people straight to the website where they can push shirts. Because I think it'd just be more complicated for me to bring a bunch of orders of large, extra large, small, medium. That way, now you can literally physically order the shirt you want, maybe even the color shirt you want, your size, and it's gonna meet you at the house. Because
Oh,
that's
that's
less things you gotta
smart.
carry at the con, you know?
Yes. That is so smart. That's actually I would not me. I would have been the dumb one with like 100 boxes on an airplane for no reason because I wouldn't have had the shirt size that the person needed. But that's just
Exactly,
like that's genius actually because by the time it's true by the time they get home, the shirt will either be there or like a couple of days later they get it. That's actually
exactly. So, and I
hmm,
know the big thing about cons is people always have, like, bunch of bags or carrying a whole bunch of stuff. At least that's one less thing you gotta worry about carrying.
yeah. I
So,
like the way you think. I like this. He's like, I'm not putting that much work on myself. No, here's a QR code. And you
that's right.
that's really
And
cool.
make it more convenient for people. That's what people always say. The more convenient it is for people, the easier it is to get sales. So
Yeah, for sure. So how has the response been for the first book? I know your Kickstarter funded for that. How was the response afterwards?
It's always an amazing feeling when you have people messaging you, when's issue two, when's issue three, what's taking so long, et cetera, et cetera. So, it puts a lot of pressure on you, but that's the kind of pressure you do want. It shows that you're going somewhere with it and people are actually enjoying what you're putting out there. So we even added an additional member to the group, an editor,
Oh
and
wow.
she has been an amazing addition to the team because
Okay.
she is brutal and straightforward. So so these two new books coming out this Kickstarter is going to be the first issues that she's worked with us with. So
Oh nice.
I'm expecting even more positive reviews with that because everyone deals with their own personal stuff in life and gets sidetracked. At least now I feel great that I know I have someone looking over me to making sure I'm putting the best, to continue reading the books. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
That's good though. That's good that she's like, keeping you in check and keeping you in line too. Sometimes you need that brutal, honest person in your
Yes.
corner because it'll help you. And I mean, and not in a mean way, obviously, because you guys got to get along and stuff, but it
Mm,
helps keep you in general as on track, you know what I mean? Because like you said, life happens and you can fall behind and stuff like that. But this is your baby. You know what I
yes.
mean? You want the best for it, and having somebody on your team like that, sounds really great. How did you find her?
So she's actually the editor of one of my members. She's the editor for Dennis's book, The Celestial Knight.
You got Farrell?
Yes, that's my editor. Yes.
I love Farrell so much. Oh, I'm so glad
So,
she is on your team now. Like that just made my night. That's
yes.
awesome.
So that's exactly how I met her, was through that. So, and everyone needs a feral in their team. Like I can't say enough. You're gonna have people obviously out there that love to support you, and they're always gonna tell you, yes, this is good, this is good. But unfortunately, that's not gonna make you better. That's not gonna push you, harder. So having her around to push me and make me, like, she introduced me to um, so many different writing points, and ways to keep like character building in check and different personalities and everything. Like, it was just like me starting to do the comic thing. I had to learn from scratch how to do that, from writing, from promoting in social media, understanding social media. It's like another science project. Like
It is
all
because
these
that's my
things.
major. Like that's
Yeah,
all I do is social media marketing. Yeah, so
oh my
it's a
goodness.
beast.
And I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to get that down packed. So, to have her come in and improve my writing and let me know that there's certain ways to do certain things is great. Because these are things that I didn't know before, or that I had an issue with before. So now that it's brought to light, I can work on it and I can give the audience something even better as I continue to create. So
Yeah, and I think that's why I love Farrell too. So so she's never edited anything for me, but I do know that she's very honest and very like, and I think is it's definitely because once she knows that you're passionate about that project, she wants the best for you and that project. It's it's no ego on her. She's just like, no, if this is what you want. We're gonna make it the best, and she's honest and straight to the point, and that's you know you have your family to sugarcoat things, right? You have your family to be like, "Yeah, that looks great." Next thing you know, like there's like too many commas or no commas and
yeah.
like the wording is off and then here comes Farrell like, "No, no,
Yep.
no,
Nope.
get this
Yeah.
done." Like, "Let's redo this." Like, you know what I mean? But she cares. And
Yep.
like I can yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. I love Farrell. Like she's amazing. She definitely I'm so glad that she's on your team. Like that's that's once you said that, I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." Like, that's so, so cool.
Yeah,
Um,
'cause she's already like pinpointed exactly how I work. Because I'm the kind of person, like, once I have an idea, like it's in my head and I'm motivated to write, I'm just gonna pour it out on a piece of paper, and it's not gonna make sense to anybody.
mm,
So after I pour it out on the paper, then I go over it again, and then I rewrite it to make it sound better and everything. And then, that's when I change it again into script form to go over it again. And then that's when I send it to her, and she starts to break it down and explain to me what needs to be changed or what needs to be improved. So it's a very good process, and I'm really enjoying it.
I like
So
your process though, you just get it all out of your system.
yeah,
Does it all happen in one sitting, or is it something that you're like, you have to like, do it in chunks? How do you
yeah, that's the
release
problem
all the
with me.
words?
That's the problem with me, is that I'll have I do like waves, so it'll be like a wave. Like, I'll get motivated right now. Maybe it's because of something I saw, or maybe I spoke to somebody or something. I get motivated, and then it just starts coming out of the way. So it'll last maybe like a few days. So those
Oh,
few
wow.
days, I'm just writing, because I know eventually I'm gonna burn down, and then I'm gonna like step back for a bit, and then
Um,
wait to start again. So I try to get down as much as possible when I feel like that motivation to write.
Oh, okay. And then you said you step away. Do you step away for like a few days or just one day, or is it just
It's
like
normally like a couple of weeks, maybe. Like, so the thing about me is that, so my work schedule is very complicated. I work nights, so my
that's
whole
right.
clock is backwards. So even if it's like, so like today's like my first day off, I'm just waking up. I'm recovering from the week that I work. So that first day off is normally my recovery day, and then my next day off is when I can try and get into things that I need to get done. So sometimes that thing I have to put it in the back burner because there's more important things I gotta handle. So, things sometimes tend to fall to the waistline for a couple of weeks or so.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. So that's probably why you go through the process of getting it all out in
Yeah.
those days consecutively, just because your schedule is different than other people's schedules. Thank God for the internet, right, though?
Yeah. Makes things a little bit easier.
Yeah. You can email her at any time, Farrell, at any time, and she could email you back at any time, and
Yeah,
that
because
helps a
even
lot.
when I started working with her, I had to stop the progression because I was literally into DISYS Saga Part 2, like 17 pages in,
Oh,
and then
wow.
I've already wrote, the Clennis story, and I had the first 7 pages being done by an artist. So, when I first started interacting with her, like I said, the first interaction with me and Farrell, like, the first time she broke something, I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, there can't be that much thing she needs to edit, so, let me just continue doing what I'm doing." And then when I got back to revision, I was like, "Holy shit. Yeah, we're gonna have to pause on the artwork, like, because I don't wanna have to go back and pay to change a whole bunch of panels and
Mm,
everything." I'm like, let's hold back. Let's let my editor catch up to where we are so we
yeah.
can all be in the same line. So that way we can just all go forward smoothly instead of her trying to play catch up,
Mm.
the whole time. So that's what I started doing. And then that's pretty much where we're at now. We're almost caught up to where I'm at now with Element Dysis Saga Part 2 and continue with the Clinton story.
See, I have so much respect for you, working with a team and knowing, everybody's strengths. You never sit there and be like, no, I like the way this is. You trust Farrell, you trust your artist, you give them the freedom to, let their talents shine.
Yes.
Um, was that something that you had to learn to do, or was that always like you knew that that was part of the comic book creating process?
Yeah, I'm not a I'm not cocky person, I guess you want to say. So I'm always willing to take advice from anybody. If anybody wants to share an opinion with me, obviously as long as you do it respectfully,
Yeah.
I'm always open, minded to it and everything. Obviously it's my story, so there's key things that I want and I need to stay and
Mm,
everything. But once we set those ground rules, she does a great job working around that, and like for example, she was introducing me to the four personality concept, which is a concept pretty much like the writer of Ninja Turtle uses, DBZ and everything. So she was introducing me to those four character things since I have, the four main characters.
mm,
And I had to go through that. She was telling me Hydro is more of this type of character, Pyro's more of this type of character. So we went over that. But then, I told her that I need certain personalities to stay. Like,
okay.
I don't want them to be like a complete mimic of, like, let's say Ninja Turtles. So, like,
Mhm,
most
mhm.
people will see Pyro and they're gonna think that Pyro's the hothead, he's the Raphael and do this and that. And it's like, I'm Pyro. Like, Pyro's based off of my personality. I'm not really a hothead. But the thing about me is once my fuse does burn out, it burns out and it blows hard. And that's the kind of personality I want Pyro to have. Like, and she showed me how to introduce that, you
Oh,
know,
nice.
in the
Okay.
comic book, like just even small certain gestures that you can have like Pyro do doing the comic and everything, like maybe get into an altercation and you see him like clench a fist and like walk away, because he's trying to avoid confrontation because he's afraid of what he might do. So that's like the kind of characteristic I want from him. Like Hydro's like the intelligent one, but I didn't want him to be like Donatello, like gadgets and not that type of
Not
intelligence.
the tech guy.
Yeah, not like the tech guy, but more like he's the one that we would go to for advice if we needed some type of guidance within the four brothers. He's the one that analyzes a situation before reacting. So he
Okay, so
kind
it's
of,
more wisdom than like
yeah, exactly.
smarts, it's like
Yeah,
wisdom.
yep. And Shock is easy. Shock is the cocky one of the group. He's the if we get into something, it's gonna be because of him. So that's just exactly how my cousin is. So his character is very straightforward. And Sky is pretty much, you would say, like the Michelangelo of the group. He's the funny dude, but at the same time, he's very good with tactical things, I guess you can say, like breaking things down. So, him and Hydra working together would kind of be like, Hydra would be like, all right, we're gonna need to find a way to get into like this base. Sky can be like, I think the best way might be to go this and that, go through this corridor, sneak back here, things like that. So, and we're trying to portray off of our real characteristics into these characters, so that way it's not like a complete, oh, this is just like Ninja Turtles, or, this and
Yeah.
that. So, you always want to add like your bit of touch into what you're creating.
Yeah,
So,
because for those that don't know, because I don't know why they haven't read the book yet, but for those that haven't read the book, these characters are based off of real people.
yes,
So,
me and three of
as you
my
stated,
closest
you,
friends.
your cousin, and
Yeah.
who else?
My cousin, my adopted brother, and my best friend.
Yeah. So,
So
for those that don't know, these characters are based off of real people. Unlike, well, the Ninja Turtles are named after real people, but they're not like based off
yeah,
of real people. So, yeah. And that's good though, because you want that distinction. There's always those moments where it's like, oh, this is just like whatever it is. This is just like that. And you don't want that for your comic because it's your creation. You know what I mean? You want to be the standout of it. Yeah, it might have certain similarities, but you don't want it to be like just like,
from he like it,
you
yeah.
know,
Yep, and we're always gonna find someone, like, it's in human nature to try and compare something to something they're familiar with. So, I get people that say that this kind of reminds them of the Avatar, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, cool, I have no issue with that. I love the Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's one of the best shows I think ever created. So if you're gonna compare my comic to something that amazing, I have no issues with it. Obviously, I definitely did get inspiration from the
yeah.
Avatar, from like my favorite animes, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, etc. Like I've definitely drew some inspiration from those things, but I've added my own characteristics.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what I like about it, that it is its own, it has its own personality, its own um just feel to it. And yeah, people do like finding similarities to it. I didn't really see Avatar in it, I guess, but now that you
I
like, I'm
think
like, I guess I could see how
once it has to do with elements, you're always gonna get either the Avatar or Captain Planet.
planet. I didn't even think of any of those things. Like it wasn't that wasn't but now that you've said it, I'm like, I can see how somebody could get that. Like, yeah, that makes kind of sense. But to me, it was I don't know, I just took it for what it was, its own creation and its own. And then I also had the insight of knowing that this was based off
Yes.
of real people, so I didn't have to compare it to anything else, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But that was just me because I had the little insight, I guess. I don't know if that helped sway that thought process for me or not, but, that's the little tidbit there for that's that's what happens when you have insider knowledge. You don't get swayed with thoughts of, comparing it to something else, but, the story is good. The story is a lot of fun. Is it hard to cut out certain parts of the story? Because I know you said you just release everything and then you go back in and rewrite it. Is it difficult or is it just kind of one of those like, why did I write that?
Oh yeah, like it's hilarious when you're writing something because you'll write something for the first time and you'll be like, masterpiece. You'll walk away from it. You'll come back a week later. You'll be like, what the hell? Did I write this? Oh no, hold on. I gotta change this and this and that. Like it's crazy how often that happens. And it's like that's what makes it so important that you have someone else look over it,
Mhm.
because once you put something down, like you literally say to yourself, this is a masterpiece. Like I can't do any better than that. And then you come back a week later, you're like, oh hell no, I can do better than this. Like and then you
I
go at
completely
it
understand that.
again. So
Yeah.
it's definitely, a fun process of, eliminating and continuing, what you're doing and everything. So as long as, like I said, as long as I'm like, don't have to change too much of like the artwork, as long as like on the
Mm.
writing level, that's great. Which is why I love my artist, because she sends me the art through every stage. She sends the sketches. Then once I approve the sketches, she sends the line art. Once I approve the line art, then she starts to color, and as she's putting in like the darks and the flats, she sends it to me like, you sure there's nothing else I need to change? Anything like that. Give me those chances to make those changes that I need, before completing a page or a picture.
Is
So
this the same artist from before?
yes, so she is the artist from the Awakening, from the Bird and the Truth. So yes, she is the same one from issue 2. She'll be doing issue 3, 4, and 5, and
Nice.
we have a different artist doing the Clement story.
Okay.
Yeah, I've worked with him a few times before. He's done a lot of, artwork for me and everything. He's actually helped me do an animation that will be present in the Kickstarter, and this was a pretty very well animation that we've done, and
Mm.
I'm very excited to show it.
I'm excited to see it. That's cool. That's awesome.
I've
So
been
is it
sharing I've been sharing animation that I had done a while ago, but it's nowhere near as good as the one that's gonna be on the Kickstarter.
nice? So this is gonna be like the Kickstarter trailer type of thing?
Yeah. So, yep,
Oh, I'm excited.
that'll be the first thing you see once you enter the Kickstarter and the introduction
Sweet.
to it. So, yeah.
That's that's so cool that I'm, like, even more excited for the Kickstarter to launch in just in about, like, 2 weeks now, right?
Yes.
'Cause yeah, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So hit that
Mhm.
notify link down at the description below. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. I'm, like, so excited for you and this, next section of the book. I'm excited to finally get to, like, bear hug you at Baltimore Comic Con. I thought I was gonna blow my budget at somebody else's table, but now I'm gonna have to save a little bit of money so I can spend money at your table as well.
Yes, you could definitely ask Dennis and Chris and his wife how they first met me, because that's one of the great things about meeting people in person. You don't know what you're gonna get. Like, I can see you now and I can think you're 6'5". And then when I see you, you're 5'3", and it's like,
I
whoa.
am 5'3".
So that's exactly what happened. And
Yes.
since I'm talking with these SSB guys, we've only met each other on, Instagram and everything. So when we met each other on person, the first person I met was Chris's wife, and
She's
she's a small
amazing.
petite. Yeah, she's a small petite lady. So imagine she's facing this way, and then she turns around. This big black guy just,
Barreling down on her. That's
and
awesome.
so I took them by surprise, and they're like, "Holy cow, Jerry, you're huge!" And I'm like, "Am I?" And they was like, "Yeah, we had no idea you were that big." So it's always
That's great.
exciting to see people face to face for the first
It
time.
is. I was not expecting Chris's wife at all. Like, I had no idea what she could
Mhm.
possibly look like. So when he introduced her, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, I had no idea what to expect because she's come into the chat, a couple of times during the shows and stuff, but you can't gauge anything from the way people, like, type and stuff. So when I saw her, I was like, "Oh, she's
Mhm.
so tiny and cute." Like, I love her so much. So I'm, like, super excited. It's gonna be so much fun. Jerry, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, to come back on the show. As I said, my virtual door is always open to you. Guys, go get the notification. His Kickstarter goes live October 7th. Let's all watch the trailer together because I'm hitting that notify link as well. And you know the deal. Go follow, go support, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.